Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of WP the Podcast. I'm David Blackman.
And I'm Tim Streifler.
Today, in episode 809, we're going to talk about how to win during a recession. Obviously, over the last few years, the whole world has changed. We've had COVID, we've been in lockdown. Unfortunately, some small businesses lost their business because they weren't prepared to transition should their storefronts close, which never in a million years did we dream that would happen. But guess what? It happened. So we wanted to kind of talk about, some ways and things you could do to win during economic times like these, especially in today's, you know, I still look at the online space, even though we've been online for a good 30 years now, consistently, people from their homes and stuff. I still feel like we're very, very early in the stages. And in my opinion, it's still the wild, wild west. We're still trying to figure all this stuff out, and believe it or not, we're the people that are blazing the path for the future. Our children, their children, our grandchildren, great grandchildren. We are pretty much laying down the foundation and the footwork and stuff. And um, obviously, there are some things you can do to win in a recession online that are cost effective, that may not cost as much money and stuff. So we kind of wanted to talk about like that and stuff. I guess I'll start off with today is the importance of SEO and organic marketing. So when we started our company, Aspen Grove Studios, a little over 7 years ago, um, we right out of the gate started writing blog posts, producing content. I wish I could tell you that it was intentional and I did it because I knew what it was going to do for me and the company in the long run. But the truth is I just like sharing the knowledge that I learned. I didn't know anything about WordPress. So as we would do certain cool things, I figured other people may want to learn about it. And guess what? I found out on the back end that the search engines absolutely love that. So coincidentally, our websites are insanely high ranking websites. They're authoritative in the WordPress space. So if we produce content now on any level, it gets ranked pretty quickly and pretty highly. A lot of times, page one on some things. And just because we're in 2022 and you may be coming to the content marketing game a little bit later and the SEO game where you're trying to optimize your SEO and stuff, it's not too late because a lot of these businesses aren't doing these things. So still, if you take the time to do these things, you can really, really give yourself a leg up, especially in these recessive times where um, you really, really need to get traffic. You really, really want eyeballs on your products and stuff. And this is just a really good way to do it. A little bit of sweat equity, start producing content, putting out some valuable, relevant stuff, and it can help you a tremendous amount in the long run, especially in a recession and stuff.
Yeah. And to David's point, during a recession, a lot of times businesses cut back, right? They cut back spending. And so sometimes blogging, paying, whether they're paying it someone internally to do it or they are paying an outside agency, a lot of times stuff like blogging is what gets cut first because that's a long-term play. And so they want to focus their spending on things that are going to help them short term. And so that creates more of an opportunity for you to put in the effort and see those results and be able to win when other companies are cutting back from certain areas. And on that same note, brings us to the second part of this episode, which is there's a huge opportunity for paid ads, right? So, kind of the whole principle behind this episode of how to win during a recession is doing the opposite of everyone else, right? When others zig, you zag. When others are cutting back, you spend. And the reason is because the natural tendency for companies during a recession is they cut spending, they hold back, right? Because it's like there's so much uncertainty. They don't know what the future is going to be. They don't know how long we're going to be in this. They don't know how bad it's going to get. So the natural tendency is to be a little bit fearful, a little more risk adverse. And so, they're not going to be investing in SEO or paid ads as much. So ad costs actually go down. So during a recession, there's an opportunity to get more bang for your buck on the paid ad platforms, Facebook, Google, YouTube,
Yeah.
other platforms as well. So you can think, okay, well, I can do what everyone else is doing and I can cut spending and not advertise or cut back on my advertising spend, or I can seize the opportunity and where others are freezing, I can run and, cover a lot of ground quickly when normally it would be a lot more competitive. And so there's a lot of opportunities to that beyond just the examples we're giving. I think it's having a mindset of looking for the opportunities. Because here's the thing, during recessions, millionaires are made. Like if you look at like the biggest recessions that we've had in history, like the Great Depression, like there are people that made a lot of money during those times, not
Right.
because they were greedy or doing anything unethical, but they were just, while everyone else was being fearful, they were being opportunistic, right? They were looking
Right.
for those opportunities. An actual example from a personal friend. I have a good friend, his brother-in-law, during the 2008 recession, when a lot of people lost everything. He had a billboard ads business, right? And so his business like tanked during that time because no one was wanting to spend money on advertising. But they were a really profitable company. So him and his partner, what they decided to do is invest money that they had saved and buy commercial real estate. And so they bought a big office building that they got it for, a fraction of what they would have paid, a year or two before. And that is basically their retirement plan now. They've held on to it all this time. That was back in 2008, and they don't need to sell it because the amount of money they make from those recurring fees from their tenants, like that's their cash cow right there. And
Right.
so they were able to see that opportunity and jump on it, opposed to most people being like, well, whoa, I'm not going to buy real estate right now. That's a terrible idea. We're in a recession. But they benefited greatly by buying when the market was down. So anyways, there's opportunities like that everywhere. You just have to be on the lookout for them.
Yeah, and I will tell you that people are not quitting using the internet. So if, you let the people that aren't advertising and doing these things, the eyeballs that are out there are still out there and people are still searching. So take it for what it's worth. Tomorrow, we've got another great episode. Tim, until tomorrow, we'll see you then.
Take care. Bye bye.